Now let's move on to the next portion of exercise where I'm going to discuss long questions and answers. The first question is, write down a note on the character of Hubert. The answer is, Hubert is a protagonist of the story The Piece of String, written by Guy de Maupassant. Hubert has been portrayed as a man of humble origins who becomes the face of the false accusation of theft and the harsh treatment of his fellow villagers. Hubert has been described as a simple countryman, a peasant by profession, who was an honest person and a sensitive soul at heart. When Hubert is accused of stealing the pocketbook of Mr. James, he is astounded. Despite his persistent efforts, when the villagers refuse to accept that he is innocent and consider him a liar, he takes it to his heart. He feels ashamed to be called a liar and unable to withstand his discredit to his self-esteem and character, the poor man reaches his deathbed. The second question is, write 10 lines on the mentality of the people who did not believe Hubert. The answer is, the people who did not believe Hubert did not have any fair sense of judgment. They were so narrow-minded that they only listened to one side of the story and believed it. In spite of the fact that they had been living close to Hubert in the same village for years, they blindly followed the fabricated accusation of theft, doubting his honesty. Even when George discovered the pocketbook and gave it to Mr. James, the villagers believe that it is a scheme of Hubert to save himself and refuse to believe that he is innocent. These hard-hearted people made him a laughingstock in the society. They made his life difficult, and the sensitive soul took the disgrace of his fellow villagers to his heart. Their death at the end of the story proves that God is just, and such people who mistreat and cause innocent people, making their lives miserable, always meet a bad end. The third question is, why did the mayor not believe the innocence of Hubert? Because the mayor was informed by Manana, whom he considered a competent and trustworthy officer, that Hubert had stolen the pocketbook. Since he could not believe that his credible officer Manana could be mistaken. So when Hubert spoke in his defense and informed the mayor that he had picked up a piece of wire, not the pocketbook, he refused to believe him, saying, "You will not make me believe that Mr. Manana, who is a man of worthy credence, mistook the cord for a pocketbook." Moreover, the poor peasant did not have any credible proof to prove his innocence. Fourth question is, was it necessary for Hubert to continue pleading his innocence? The answer is, Hubert did not need to continue pleading his innocence. When the villagers refused to believe that he was innocent, even after George discovered the pocketbook and gave it to Mr. James, he should not have continued making efforts in order to prove his innocence. There was no need of making futile efforts to convince these people who accused him and made fun of him, as they believed in one side of the story. The last question is, what suggestions can you give to Hubert to save him from such a humiliating situation? The answer is, Hubert should have left the village of heartless people who could not even recognize the truth of his character and doubted his honesty. Being a peasant by profession, Hubert could leave and work somewhere else instead of taking it to his heart. In this way, he could have survived. So we are done with the discussion of long questions and answers as well. I hope you have understood this explanation very well. Thank you.